Hello and welcome! Today we're going to outer space and we're talking about WALL-E.
Out there's a world outside of Yonkers, way out there beyond this hick town, Barnaby. There's a slick town, Barnaby.
WALL-E was released in 2008, and this film is a very, very unique film compared to what Pixar had come out from that point beforehand. It is brilliant. I've never seen this film before. Again, this is another one that I've always wanted to, but during this time I wasn't as big on Disney. This is when I was in high school, so I kind of didn't go to every single film and I missed a lot of the films, so now I'm catching up. And this one is so underratedly beautiful and important and needs to be seen. I was so surprised and touched and affected by this film after I finished watching it. It was directed by Andrew Stanton and Thomas Newman did the music, so again, revolving in the family. It's very, very important to watch. You have a very hardcore opening where you're just welcomed in by this old-fashioned song from Hello Dolly. And Hello Dolly has this, it's just a huge element of it, and it's supposed to take place 800 years later, so in like 2805 I think is the year, but I'm not sure. It is in the 2800s, which is weird to think about. And they have Hello Dolly as his happiness, his WALL-E's happiness that he looks on to and learns about love from. And he's just this little robot who is on Earth and never got shut down, and he's just alone on Earth after Earth has been completely destructed by all the garbage, and everyone is living in the spaceship now and they're not doing anything and people are just existing. And it's a very sad reality, but it's something that we need to be aware of because we're on the way there.
By and large, everything you need to be happy. Your day is very important to us.
A is for Axiom, your home sweet home. B is for by and large, your very best friend.
And seeing how much stuff we've collected and how much is wasted and the lack of conservation, it really makes you think, and it's so important because you want to be able to change your habits so you don't end up in a reality like what's presented on screen. And that's the underlining story. That's not even the main story. The main story is about WALL-E meeting Eve, who is another robot that came down to Earth to find if there is any plants on Earth again so they can return back to home compared to being the spaceship. But it's a love story between them, and that's very sweet. And that's technically the main story. However, when I looked at it and was watching it, I felt like that should have been the side story, and I was more affected by the actual underlining story of the fact that Earth is dead and everyone is on a spaceship existing and not doing anything at all except drinking carbohydrates and being brainwashed by advertisements by Big and Large. Big and Large is basically relevant to Walmart. I don't know if it is, but it is basically every company, so Walmart, Costco, BJ, Sam Clubs, things like that.
The By and Large Supercenter, or visit one of hundreds of specialized By and Large retail outlets. Bazillion B&L, The Big B, B&L Best Brands, Buy and Lug, and hundreds more.
What's really cool as well is that there's basically no dialogue in the first 20 to 30 minutes of this film. It's a nice homage to the silent films. You're just watching the visuals on the screen, and I think that's so fantastic because that's what film is for. You can tell a story with words, you can do different things, but film was visually made to be watched, and just observing what's going on, and it's beautiful and it's very powerful, and you're really paying more attention to what's happening because you don't hear what's happening. And I know that they said in the commentary that WALL-E was very inspired by Charlie Chaplin, who is one of the most famous silent film era comedians. Still an icon, someone I still look up to, so that made me love this film even more, because Charlie Chaplin is definitely a huge inspiration for my life, and I really appreciate the films that he did in the past in the beginning of cinema. Another really cool fact about this film is that this was the first Pixar film to use live action.
Aboard the Axiom, you may now experience the exploration of deep space in comfort and style, as all of the luxurious amenities of Earth have taken off with you. So get ready for the adventure of a lifetime. The Axiom is waiting.
And we actually have actors within this universe. And Fred Willard is basically the president in the future, but in the past. Because everything is taking place 800 years from today, but he was president maybe 200 years down the road, and then they've just been living for the past 700 years on this spaceship and not doing anything.
Mr. President. I think, huh? Time to go. Okay, I'm giving override directive A113. Go to full autopilot, take control of everything, and do not return to Earth. Repeat, do not return to Earth. Let's get the heck out of here.
It's just very, very, very underrated, and I really admire this film. And this is definitely a beautiful, beautiful film, but very scary at the same time, and so important to watch. So this one might be my favorite Pixar film from this point forward, although I do have my classics, but this is definitely a new favorite of mine. And it's super underrated, as I've been saying. But tomorrow we're going to continue with Up, another fantastic film. So stay tuned, and as always, I hope you have a magical day, and I will see you real soon.